Hello everybody, welcome back to another commentary. I'm Who's Ready for Monster Jam, and today we are in Evansville, Indiana in 2025 for what is one of the biggest independent lineups in the history of monster trucks. We have 17 trucks competing in this event. There were two shows that took place in Evansville, Indiana. This one was requested by a couple people, but Ryan Zielsdorf, Ziggy, gotta shout him out, as he's the one who gave me the impetus for doing this. If it weren't for him asking me to do this show, I don't know if I would have. So we're starting things off with, I believe, Best Trick, and we will start it off with Brutal. This is driven by Austin Minton. Such a unique truck that I don't believe I've ever done a commentary including this truck before. So he is starting things off. It is such a unique look, with just the front half being that little Willys design, and then the back half having nothing but those giant pipes for the exhaust. It is super sick. Now I also want to kind of let you guys know before we get into this today, I'm not feeling 100% today. I've got a bit of a scratchy throat, allergy starting to get in the way, so I'm not going to be talking as much as normal. Just going to kind of let things breathe a little bit as Brutal goes for move number 2. Gets a nice slap wheelie, and that is, I'm assuming, the end of his run, and it looks like it is. Who is this? What is this truck? Oh, this is Crime Time, driven by Brittany Ames. Never seen this truck in my life until right now. Let's see how Brittany does. Very neat looking truck, simple. Tried a little popper there. So yeah, I'm gonna comment on what I want to comment on, but I'm not gonna be adding a ton of fill. We're just gonna be watching and kind of just reacting, especially because I can't get copyrighted for any of this stuff, so I'm not really too worried about it. I'm going to add what I can, and we're essentially just going to watch the show together, and I'll provide my reactions to what you see it, because I don't want to really strain my voice, and I'm not really feeling 100%. But I knew that if I don't do it today, I might get worse throughout the week and not be able to do it at all, and I promised you guys videos for this week. So if this is the only video you see from me this week, I'm sorry. It just means that I didn't quite get any better. So we're hoping that things will turn around, and hopefully you will get more than one video from me this week. I'm going to try and just rest up, keep myself going. I haven't been sick once this year. Here's Jekyll and Hyde. This is driven by Corey Canal. Nice slap wheelie. Yeah, I mean, this is the latest I've ever gone into the year before having any sort of illness whatsoever. I've been 100% healthy since the beginning of this year. I've never made it to August. Usually I'm sick around March, and you guys probably remember, because usually I have to cancel 1 week of commentaries in first quarter. Didn't have to do that this year. Was very lucky. But I don't think, I don't know if this week I'm going to have that same luck, but that's okay. I'll take it. I'll take 8 months of health. Jekyll and Hyde with a nice slap wheelie. Pretty solid run out of Corey Canal. Like seeing that truck around. Here is Scarlet Bandit. This is Dawn Cretan. And this is a new body for 2025. A little throwback paint job to that old school 2007-2008 truck that got so popular. Hard to see the trucks when they go through there because of that sun glare. That'll go down as the night goes along. This truck sounds so mean. Really pretty look, though. I love what they did with it. The purple in the name, or sorry, pink in the name, the pink bead locks. Now this is such a simple track, there's not much to it, so you've really got to make something happen here. Getting herself lined up for a popper. Yeah, that truck didn't quite sound right. Sounded like it was having trouble staying fired. What is this? What in the heck is this? Is this the Wrecker? This must be the Wrecker. Yeah, this is going to be the Wrecker, driven by Mark Cole. Because it looks like a Wrecker. That's the cool thing about doing these independent shows. You find trucks you've never seen before and drivers you've never seen before, and I've never heard of this truck in my life. Got a really great field of trucks today. I'm excited to see them all drive. This is always one of those fun independent shows throughout the summer that is such a big lineup and a great lineup, but there's like not much else to do in this show. Like it's kind of like a state fair. Like there's nothing like, there's not big jumps. There's a backflip, which is always unique. Here's Austin Minton in... Or no, sorry. Here's John Kohler in Brutus. I read Austin Minton's name back. This is John Kohler in Brutus. This is another son of Jim. He's doing a donut. It's the first time we're ever seeing him on the channel. I didn't even know that there was a John Kohler until a couple weeks ago. And that is his run. Pretty good. Oh, no, it's not. Doing another jump. Here comes a big dinosaur. This is, what the heck's the name of it? I see it. Oh, Roaring Rex. This is Logan Tweedy. I've seen this truck before. I just didn't remember the name of it. I thought this was one of the Hot Wheels trucks. It might be one of the Hot Wheels trucks. I don't know, though. So let's see how Roaring Rex does. Nice jump. And a nice slap wheelie. Very cool. It was one of the best moves we've seen so far, if not the best. Still have so many trucks left to go. I don't think they do racing here. Pretty sure it's just best trick and freestyle, because this is not a racing track, but we'll find out. With 17 trucks, you know, freestyle is going to take over a half hour in its own right. So, and this video is only 54 minutes. So I'd imagine we're probably just getting best trick and freestyle. This is Shark Bite. Dan Dahlgren's the driver. I had to make sure the name was Shark Bite, not Shark Wreck, because I know that there's, you know, Shark Wreck out there. But this is the Shark Bite. Dan Dahlgren, one of the better independent drivers out there that not many people know of. He's a guy that has been driving with Jimmy Creighton the last couple of years and has really been pretty good. I've gotten to see him drive twice already, and he's done a fairly good job both times. I believe he drove Bounty Hunter last year when I saw him in Phoenix, and then he drove Shark Bite this year. Had a fairly impressive showing this year. Nice, there you go. Little popper. No one's been able to do that today. Good run out of Dan Dahlgren. Here's John Gordon in Bad Company. Know that one. Don't have to look. Now, Bad Company, some of you might not have known this, but John Gordon actually made his return to Monster Jam this past weekend. He competed in an arena and actually won racing in the second show he competed in. That was pretty cool because, well, he hasn't competed in Monster Jam in about a year doing a bicycle and rolled her over. Well, I like the approach there from John Gordon. Didn't execute it perfectly, though. This is Culture Shock, driven by Preston Perez. Some of you probably know him. Driven in Monster Jam before. Drove Axe for a little while. He's driven a whole slew of trucks. Now looks like he's got one of his own. Either that or he's just piloting it. Listen to the sound of those belts just moving around. Is he gonna try a tombstone? Wow. That's bold. Well, he wants to try the maximum moonwalk. I don't know if he has the strength to get up there. Wow, trying a tombstone. That failed miserably, but I like the attempt. I gotta say. He is dumping fuel out. Here's Chris Kohler in Mayhem. We all know Chris Kohler very well. He's gotten a lot of opportunities to drive in independent events, and there's been a lot of them this summer with really good lineups. I'd like to do the Fowlerville show that just happened this past weekend as well. That's on my list. That's the great thing about the summer, man. We get to go from Monster Jam to the independent stuff, and it's always just so fun. I think Chris is going to try a tombstone too. We saw him execute this a lot on Monster Jam this year. sure he feels pretty comfortable doing it, but these backflip ramps are going to be a little bit different from what he's used to with Monster Jam, and you could already see it kicked him a little more than he's used to. The typical shower coming out of the bottom of the truck. I don't know what that stuff is, but constantly dumping stuff out of the bottom of this truck. The truck just starts peeing when it gets put on the front two wheels like this, and he'll set it down with a very impressive move. Nice look for Chris Kohler. He's got one move to go, and he's already set a pretty good bar for what he can do on move number 2. Trying to get my chair in the right spot. Tons of dust. He probably can't see anything right now. Lining up for his second move. Gonna try the stoppie in the cloud of dust. That's making my allergies worse just looking at it. Well, nice to see somebody really execute these stoppies. It's the one thing that's never really caught up to the independents. They've not been able to do those stoppies very well, and I don't know if it's just truck build. You know, Monster Jam trucks are built for that. Oh, there's a train in the background. Here's Zach Garner and Wildside. Zach Garner going to try and nail a really solid stoppie here. We just saw Chris Kohler do 2 very nicely. So can Zach Garner outdo him? You know, these fans don't want to see someone do the same thing someone else did. They want to see something a little bit different. And it's really interesting how the overall fan reaction to stoppies has changed throughout the year. The fans used to go crazy for those moves, but now they just want to see these trucks jump around. Stoppies don't feel as impressive to the casual fan anymore, and honestly to the diehard fan as well, which is very interesting. Is he going to go for the tombstone too? Man, we've already now had 3 drivers attempt this, so you really better make sure you nail it. He's essentially doing the same exact thing we just saw Chris Kohler do, so you better make sure you do it better than him. Gotta make sure he really lines this up right, making sure he knows how much room he has to walk up that ramp. There you go, that was perfect. And you gotta remember, these trucks don't have backup cameras or mirrors. They have no idea where they're at on the track when in relation to that backflip ramp. They're just kind of feeling it out, hoping that they're close. Makes this tombstone maneuver a little bit more impressive than you'd imagine. He's got the steering wheel out the window. That's always a fun touch. Now that is a quality stoppie there. Fans give him a nice round of applause. Here comes the Black Pearl. This is Cole Vennard. Great to see Cole Vennard in some independent shows. He hasn't really done too many of them in the last couple years. But we've got the whole gang here, and he fails a stoppie on move number 1. The gang's all here. That beautiful Silverado body, always looking sleek. And another driver going for these tombstones. It's going to be tough to top what Zach Garner did, though. Unless he's going to do the maximum moonwalk instead. That would work. Looks like that's what he's going to try. This is a perfect backflip ramp to do that on, but he failed it. That's too bad. But it's an independent show. We give him one more try. Because of how steep that backflip is, unlike the ones in Monster Jam where you really have to get a perfect kick, this one you can kind of just, once you're up there, you just fall down and the momentum will take you there. There's Miss Overboard. This is Deidre Ballard. Gotta say, Miss Overboard got quite the upgrade. This truck looks really pretty today. I've never seen this truck look so good. Those orange beadlocks are something I never thought I needed on the Overboard truck, but that's a really nice touch. Love how it's accenting the paint job. I gotta say, I think this truck might look better than regular overboard just because of that paint. Nice! Comboing it up, going for some big air. Wasting no time out here. She just came out and ran and gonna do a spinorama, and that is it. Good run. Now comes her husband. This is Jamie Garner and overboard. Got the patriotic body on here. Love to see that. It's a very pretty design. Now Jamie's got those orange beadlocks as well, but they're kind of more of a metallic orange, so they've got a bit of a darker hue to them. I just love the look of that bright orange beadlock. It's so pretty. Jamie trying something different. You could see Chris Kohler right here, just chilling in the background watching with all the other drivers as Jamie attempted a reverse popper that did not work very well. He's got one more move. Let's see what he does. Still got a couple trucks left to go in this gigantic field. I think there's only one more after this, because we haven't seen Axe. Oh no, two more. We haven't seen Axe and we haven't seen Bounty Hunter. That sun has finally gone down past the grandstand so that we could have some more shade. Oh, that didn't work. Gotta hit the gas on it, Jamie. You have to hit it. Come on. Well, let's see it. Alright. Well, Jamie's not done those very often, so that kind of screwed up the backflip ramp. All those tombstones off of it, it's really worn that ramp down, and there's now just those ladders in the way. Oh, I forgot about Jim Kohler and Avenger. Duh. It's got the Spin Master Spider Avenger, which is a fun choice to use in an independent show because this truck is based off of a Spin Master toy, which is a Monster Jam product. So, pretty neat. Oh my, Jim Kohler! Very good move. He had lost control for a moment and got it right back. Let's see that second attempt. Alright, didn't really get much on that second attempt. Is going to whip us a nice donut, though. Jim Kohler loves doing donuts. Jim Kohler getting a little bit crazy here in Evansville, Indiana, with a nice run. Here comes Jimmy Cretin and Bounty Hunter. You can see both the Bounty Hunter and Scarlet Bandit have some throwback bodies this year. Bounty Hunter with an ode to that mid-2000s look. Still got the five-finger death punch knuckles on the front. That's really cool. Very nice power wheelie out of that. 2019 World Racing Champion. He's got a little sticker for that right on the shocks. It's a really cool body. This might be the best one Jimmy's ran out there since going to this bug design. Dancing her around. Very nice. Jimmy Cretin. The old dog can do new tricks. Solid, solid work. Alright, well, we never saw Axe come out, so I'm assuming Chris Kohler's dead. Pretty typical. And it's time for Freestyle. As Brutal will lead things off, this is Austin Minton. Let's see how Austin Minton will do on this fun having track. A lot of fans in the house here in Evansville, and they're all ready for a great show. All right, Austin Minton is off. Austin Minton has been a long-time monster truck driver, drove Bounty Hunter and Megalodon in Monster Jam, among some other identities throughout the years. Nice to see that he's still driving, because to be honest, I didn't know that he did. I'm going to take a second to blow my nose while you guys enjoy. I'll be right back. Sorry, everyone, that's been bothering me since the commentary started, and I was like, now's a good time. Already introduced the truck, already sawn, so why not? So much dust out there. This is such a unique looking truck, as I mentioned already. It's one of the top bucket list trucks I have on my independent list. Oh look, he's got an open differential, which is what happens when one of the wheels spins at a different speed than the other and his run is over. There's chains in the middle of that truck. That's funny. Here comes, what the heck was the name of this truck? Crime Time. This is Brittany Ames. Ames? It's got a very unique look to the chassis. That's another thing about the Independents. The Independents have no things they have to follow when building their trucks, unless they plan to drive in Monster Jam. Like, the trucks that drive in Monster Jam have to follow certain specifications, but the Independents don't. So this truck is such a unique looking chassis. It's a very old school chassis. This chassis looks like it's been around for probably 15 years. She's gonna go for the car stack. Yes, ma'am. Like, you could just tell that the chassis thick. Like, those 4-link bars are huge. Like, this thing, if you have a hard hit in this thing, it's gonna snap your spine. Just one of those trucks. It is a neat looking truck, though. I gotta say, I love watching independent shows for the random truck like this that I've never seen before, ever, you know. Tailgate says it's a great day in South Carolina, so I'm assuming that's where this truck hails from. Going back to the cars? Yeah, from the other side. You go, girl. Oh, boy. Oh, she's up and over. Flipped her right over that car stack. Here comes Jacqueline Hyde. Nice air. All right, that's a way to start off for Corey Canal. The Jekyll and Hyde truck has gone through a lot of variants throughout the years. This truck has had many different looks to it, but I gotta say, this is a really pretty look. I think we've reached a point where I might be able to do a ranking of, like, not only 2 extreme trucks, but maybe just Jekyll and Hyde bodies? I mean, I could do so many rankings. That's why I can't wait to get some of those ranking videos in there, because I love them. They're really fun to do. Just sitting down, it's so quick too. All it takes is like 10 like not 10 minutes. It takes like 30-40 minutes to make those videos, because I just got to sit down and get all the pictures, and then you can go in and find the then I just got to record it. It's nice and easy after you rank them. But this Jekyll and Hyde is a really pretty one. Love that green. I feel like that really fits Jekyll and Hyde more. Like, the green is a really evil kind of color for the Hyde. And then obviously Jekyll is the good guy, for those of you who never read the book. This has been the best run we've had so far into the first few competitors. Good job by Corey Canal. Nice work by Jekyll and Hyde. Got some flames coming out of the exhaust, and here comes Dawn Cretan. Scarlet Bandit. Ooh, that's a pretty sound. Scarlet Bandit's also another one of those trucks that you could definitely rank every single paint job from. This truck's had a lot of iterations throughout the years. This one, though, might be one of my favorites. I mean, they shortened up the wheelbase on this truck compared to the original Scarlet Bandit. The original Scarlet Bandit was a little bit longer, was more of a race-looking truck. It had this truck has, because this truck was designed for freestyle, it was designed to be a lot shorter so that I could do those backflips really easily. And Dawn Creighton never drove a truck like that. The truck she did drive was more built for racing. But Dawn's been driving some iteration of a truck like this since probably 2012 now. Once Dawn kind of started pulling back a little bit and wasn't driving as aggressively as she had in the 2000s, figured it was time to simplify the chassis a little bit more, make it a little bit safer, a little bit easier to drive, and less hurt on the body, and I think that's what we've got here. But that truck she drove in 2007, 2008, I mean, finished second in the Freestyle Championship in 2008. That was a real weapon of a truck. And that is it. The powerhouse of Scarlet Bandit is done, and here comes the wrecker. Now, this truck's got a really long wheelbase. You could see it just by comparing this and Scarlet Bandit. This truck's probably a good couple feet longer. The wrecker driven by Mark Cole. Such a simple truck, but hey, I like it. I love the creativity some of these guys have in the independents, and you can also kind of tell when a driver is relatively new into the scene. I've never heard of this truck before, so probably a relatively new build. So I'm sure we'll get a little bit more unique design. He's got the fiberglass body all made for the wrecker. He just kind of needs some vinyls for it, just to have a livery. He's just got the wrecker written on it in, like, Times New Roman on the door. So you could tell this truck's in the beginning stages, and I'm intrigued, if I ever see this truck again, to see what it looks like when we do. It is made out of a Ford Super Duty, though, so that's pretty cool. It's a great idea. I really do like the idea. And again, this chassis is a really modern chassis. Like, you could tell this truck is not just your standard independent. You could tell this truck is more than that. Like, you look at, like I was talking about with Crime Time before, like, some of those trucks are a little bit cheaper made, so the parts aren't quite as good. This truck's made with some really good parts. This is a really well-built truck. It just looks like you've got a guy in Mark Cole who's relatively new to it, and that's all right. You know, you'll grow into it over time. That's the beauty of monster trucks. Every star has to start somewhere. Maybe Mark Cole's start is here in Evansville, Indiana. Here comes Miss Overboard, Deidre Ballard. I'm excited to look at this truck for the next however long she's on the track. And this, I gotta say, with the sun being down, it's making this color look even prettier. This Miss Overboard is looking stunning right now. I gotta say, I'm a big fan. Interesting exhaust choice for Miss Overboard. Not running regular collectors or regular zoomies. I don't really know what the name of those are. I think they're MagnaFlow headers, but they're different kind of, like, it's a really short header there. Sounds fun, though. I love something different. Just a different sound is always a good thing. Nice air. Deidre's really come a long way. I mean, I've not gotten to see a lot of her driving throughout the years, but I know she's never really been a very aggressive driver. But I gotta say, she's really come around. I mean, she drove in Monster Jam last year, took out Mike Christensen in a race, and now she's out here having a really solid freestyle. This might be the best we've had today. So Deidre Ballard might be someone to watch. I don't know if she wants to drive in Monster Jam full-time. I think if she did, she probably would. I think she probably has other responsibilities to take care of, which is why Jamie does that, but, I mean, she could probably fit right in Monster Jam if she wants. Just needs a little bit more work, and she could definitely be a good spot in the lineup. And I'd love to see her drive on a bigger floor, especially the way she's driving right now. Not seen anyone go for the backflip. I'm not sure if Deidre's going to be one to do that. But that is a nice cyclone to finish off the run. Good run out of the beautiful Miss Overboard. Here comes Brutus. This is John Kohler jumping over the car's stack to start. Nice air. It's cool to see Brutus running. We don't get to see this truck much anymore now that Chris Kohler's got Mayhem. Because when he was driving Monster Mutt, he was a big Brutus guy in the summer. We always saw Chris driving that truck. But now that Chris has his own, it allowed the door to open for John Kohler to get in there. The Kohler legacy will live on for a very long time, and I'm sure John Kohler will be a part of that at Monster Jam at some point. Not necessarily, but you never know. But those genes run really thick in the monster trucking world for this family. Now they've got good genes. Oh yeah! Perfect. Nice air. Oh yeah, he is just stuffing it around this track, and Chris Kohler's having a good freestyle. That's what I like to see. A little bit of wild action out here from Brutus. Spinning a nice donut. He broke that back left axle for sure on the landing off of that car stack, and that is going to be the demise of his run, but still, best run I've seen today. Here's John Gordon. Bad Company. Lost the tailgate and the entire back half of the truck after his bicycle flop in Best Trick. So now he's going to come out by saying hello on the backflip. Interesting that he's running BKT tires, but he's got different stickers on there. I don't know what they are. It looks like they say SS25. It's a neat sticker. I like the look of it. The first driver to go over that backflip ramp that way, and then an awkward jump off the cars. Oh, we lost the roof. Better hope it doesn't rain, John. Trying a stoppie. First driver to try that in freestyle. I like the look. This bad... Oh, dear. Bad Company shut off. Don't know what happened there, but hopefully he can get it refired. There we go. It's never good when a truck just randomly shuts off like that unless you hit that kill switch in the back. Obviously that can happen, but there was no sort of thing that would have led to that happening, so it was more of an electrical issue. Sometimes it's more than an electrical issue. But usually when that truck just randomly shuts off, it's a sign of a further problem, and that might lead to that happening more, but truck's holding together pretty well. He's having a solid run. Sounds like he lost a cylinder in the motor. That might have been why the truck shut off. Certainly putting this truck through the ringer today. A rollover in Best Trick, and now it sounds like that truck might have some more issues here in Freestyle. And don't forget, these guys have another show tomorrow that they have to do. Here comes Dan Dahlgren in Shark Bite. Very pretty looking truck. Definitely one of the prettier independents out there. And I'm going to make a bold claim here that Shark Bite is prettier than Megalodon. I don't know if that's a bold take or if that's a widely regarded opinion, but I don't know. I feel like Shark Bite, just the white, the way it looks, this truck has a more monster truck feel to it, you know? Whereas Megalodon just kind of looks like a shark. I feel like this truck kind of nailed that cool look. Like, if I had to pick between driving Shark Bite and driving Megalodon, it would be Shark Bite every single day. This is also one of those chassis that is built really, really well, and I'm sure Dan Dahlgren had a hand in it. Dan is a long-time monster truck guy. His son, Austin's actually a competition manager for Monster Jam and was at this show with my buddy Brian Zielsdorf. Shout out to Austin Dahlgren as well. It's pretty cool to get to watch your father drive monster trucks, you know, and to be in the industry yourself. Lining up for those concrete blocks. Gonna try a popper. Nice work out of Dan the Man Dahlgren. Yeah, been a good run at a Shark Bite. Kind of keeping it simple, not really doing too much, but that's alright. Still been a pretty solid freestyle nonetheless. Oh, is he going it? Is this the time? Yes, it is. Dan Dahlgren, this is his first career backflip attempt right now. And he lands it. Dan Dahlgren in the shark bite with the very first backflip of his life. I knew that happened. It was a very special moment for Dan Dahlgren right there. A man who's spent so much time and energy and passion in the monster truck world, and he has gotten himself a backflip. Very cool. Ah, here's Joe Foley. Nice to see you, Joe. Welcome to the show. He's driving Axe. Double slap wheelie to start things off. Joe always doing something different. Well, if there's anybody to be a good character for the first rollover of the day, it'll be Joe Foley. This truck has found a way to roll over so many times this year. It's almost like this truck has got a gravitational pull to flip over. Nice. Big jump over the cars, locking up those brakes. Double combination there, too. Jumps over the backflip ramp. I gotta say, this show has been a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Thank you, Ziggy. I appreciate it, because I was not, I wasn't expecting much from this show. I mean, with a track like this, you don't really expect very much, but it's actually been really fun. Nice air. It's almost been as fun as the Miami shows, because I feel like the guys in Miami have kind of toned it down the last couple of years, whereas here, you know, you don't have high expectations with this track, and they're actually really doing great. It's a fun, neat little show. I'm liking it. And Joe Foley is popping. My goodness, I just love watching Joe Foley freestyle. If it weren't for Dan Dahlgren's backflip, this would be the best run we've had so far. I mean, it is the best run we've had so far, hands down. I mean, there's no question about that. But, you know, Dan Dahlgren's backflip, that's a monumental moment, so I'm sure it gave him the lead. And that was a fun run out of the Axe. Here comes Preston Perez. He's driving Culture Shock. This would have been a great show for numbers. You go to that Evansville show, oh my goodness, getting the amount of random trucks here and drivers that I would have never seen before. I would have had, I don't know if I've ever seen Axe drive before, but I'm not going to count it. I would have added Brutal, Crime Time, Culture Shock, Jekyll and Hyde, Mayhem, because I've never seen that truck in person before, Miss Overboard, Roaring Rex, and The Wrecker. That would have been 8 new trucks. And then drivers that I would have never seen before would have been... I know I've seen Austin Minton because he did a show I worked at. So John Kohler, Brittany Ames. I don't think I've ever seen Preston Perez drive, so that's 3. Corey Canal, 4. Deidre Ballard, 5. Logan Tweedy, I've definitely never seen for... Well, actually, Logan Tweedy might have done one of the Cretan shows, but I'm going to count him as 6, and then Mark Cole, 7. So anywhere between 5 to 7 new trucks, and then 8 or 9, or sorry, 5 to 7 new drivers and 8 or 9 new trucks. I mean, that is growing the list. Didn't really go to... I've only gone to one monster truck show this year, which is actually probably a record low for me in my life. That'll tie 2020 for the least amount of shows I ever went to. Because 2020 we had Glendale in the winter, and that was it. Front brake's getting really hot for Culture Shock here. Those things are glowing. Whew. My goodness, those things, you don't want to put your hands near that. Just pull out a marshmallow. You can have some s'mores. That is it for Culture Shock. Here comes Mayhem. This is Chris Kohler. Ooh, lights. It's lit. You don't really get to see those lights very much at Monster Jam because the tracks are always so well lit and those stadiums. You don't really get to appreciate the impact of those headlights. It's kind of the one thing that's disappointing about Gravedigger nowadays. It's like you've got those purple, not purple, the cool red headlights. Such a classic thing. We don't really get to appreciate them. And as is the case with Mayhem usually, one of them is going to go out pretty soon here. It's tough to keep headlights lit on a monster truck. I mean, all they are just these little lights that are held in by these tiny little wires. I mean, it is so difficult to keep them running with all the hits it takes. All it takes is one of those wires to pop off or bend. But now the other one's going out. Adds to the nice aesthetic, though, with a Mayhem truck. Having a good pace here, but does not have the wow moments we saw out of Joe Foley. I'm sure Chris Kohler's heard that before. Is he going to go for the backflip too? I think so. Yeah, he wants to. Going to make sure he lines up right. I'm sure these drivers are allowed to just do the backflip at their own will. And he's going to try it. Here we go. Mayhem high up in the air. Bounces off the back right and flips over. And that is the end of the run for Mayhem. Here comes the Roarin' Rex. This is Logan Tweedy. One of the more unique independent designs out there. Dinosaurs have become a... I mean, they've always been a thing in monster trucks, but they've become a really big thing in the last 5 years. Jurassic Attack came back, Velociraptor, Roarin' Rex, Skelosaurus in Hot Wheels. I know I'm missing a few. But it is a nice thing. The kids love dinosaurs, so it's a fun way to keep the kids involved. That loader had to do its first job of the day, so Mayhem was actually our first rollover, I just realized. I was talking about Joe Foley being the most likely rollover, but Chris Kohler took that instead. Logan Tweedy's the brother of Austin Tweedy. That family has been around in monster trucks for about a decade, probably more. I believe both of them drive. I know one of them drove Carolina Crusher for Triple B Motorsports. I believe that was Austin. It's nice to see a family affair out here. Monster Trucks is all about the family and making people happy. One of those trucks that's tough to see out of, because if you look to your left and right, you're not going to see anything. You've got a big eyeball in the way. So while the aesthetic is cool, it does impact your ability to see. I also think the spoiler on the back is really funny. It's a nice touch. Makes it kind of like a Hot Wheels. That's the end of the run for Logan Tweedy and the Roarin' Rex. Here comes Zach Garner and Wildside. This should be a fun freestyle for this kid. We saw Joe Foley have a great run. Well, Zach Garner has been the king of freestyling at the Monster Jam level all year, so watching him freestyle will be a treat for the fans that have stuck around. Nice air over the car stack. Then goes over the dumpster. I wonder if Zach Garner will give us a backflip. Probably, my money is on no. Usually when trucks, guys like this come out, they typically just try and keep the truck together. But Zach Garner might surprise me. Choosing to do that stoppy, love it. That's a good stoppy in freestyle. You don't want to run it too long that the fans lose interest, but you also don't want to keep it too short that the fans think it was boring. That was a good length of a freestyle stoppy. Getting that big air consistently. So much dust. Zach has not quite had the run that Joe Foley did. Joe Foley's freestyle was great. And without a big wow moment here, Zach's not going to be able to compete with that. Or Dan Dahlgren's, for that matter, because Dan did the backflip. I think if Zach does a backflip, though, he might be able to win it. Nice air. I just don't know if he wants to or not. I don't think he does. That would have been the time. I mentioned it before, because of that, all those tombstones, it kind of messed up the backflip, and I think that's why Mayhem couldn't quite get a flat landing. And that's the end of the run for Zach Garner in the wild side. Here comes Colvinar in the Black Pearl. He's got the flags on now with those LED lights. Love that. I bet he could change the color on those to whatever he wants. He's got one that's blue and one that's violet. I like it. Kind of lavender. Oh, wow. What a start for Black Pearl. That was nice. Is that Armando Castro on the back of his truck? No way. Who is that? Might be Bryce. It's definitely Ryan Anderson. He's got the Dumb and Dumber dog truck on the back too, so that's funny. To signify that those two, whoever they are Dumb and Dumber. It's probably Bryce Kenny. Having Ryan Anderson on is just so funny. Nice air. I really want to get a good look at it. Come on. Yeah, that's Bryce for sure. Kind of looked like Armando with the orange fire suit. It's been a good run so far. I've kind of missed a lot of it because I'm trying to look at the tailgate, but it's been a good freestyle. His right LED has just been going out the whole run, but that's alright. Might have some sway bar trouble now. Slowed down the pace a lot after that big beginning. There you go, powering over the middle of the track. Alright, good run. There's Dumb and Dumber on the back. Now you can see that it's Bryce. Bryce and Ryan, that is so funny. Here comes Overboard. This is Jamie Garner. Pretty America Overboard. I believe this was around 4th of July weekend, so that's why this body was relevant. Obviously couldn't have been 4th of July weekend because that was the weekend of the World Finals. I think this might have been the week after. Come on, Jamie, let's see. Nice air. Welcome to the run. If Jamie will do a backflip. I don't think so, considering that Zach didn't, but he might, because he's coming out a little later. Ooh, that motor doesn't sound good. Yep. Just lost the motor. Tough break for Overboard, but that'll bring out Avenger. Avengers had a nice day so far. Had the nice best trick move. And obviously, Jim Kohler loves to freestyle, so we'll see how he does in Evansville. He's usually a guy that competes in this event. pretty much every year. Going back over that backflip ramp. A lot of these ramps have been flattened out throughout the night because of the amount of people who have hit them, so it kind of impacts those later drivers. They don't get a chance to get some nice jumps off of it. We did just see Cole Bernard do that 2 trucks ago. That ramp's a good one. I don't know how many trucks are left. I know Jimmy Cretin still has to go. You got the 2 legendary Jims in Monster Jam and Monster Trucks coming out at the end of the pack here. What's he lining up for? Oh, that little concrete block. Nice. Oh, lost it a little bit. Well, it's been a good run for Jim Kohler. Not quite the best of the day, but still cool to see Jim Kohler driving. I think that's going to do it. Yes, it is. And here comes the Bounty Hunter, and this should be your last freestyler. This is Jimmy Cretin, the legend. He's got that freestyle championship on the right shock and the racing championship on the left. A 2-time champ in the Monster Jam world. So let's see how he can handle freestyle in Evansville. He could definitely pull out a freestyle win here. Jimmy Cretin, a guy who typically likes to do those backflips when he's given the chance at the independent shows because he doesn't get to do them all that often. That's kind of the difference between the guys that run strictly independent shows and the guys who run in Monster Jam, is that, you know, a guy like Jim Kohler and Zach Garner get a chance to do a backflip every week, whereas Jimmy maybe only gets to do 2 or 3 a year. So I wouldn't be shocked if Jimmy ends off the show with a backflip. It would also, you know, the fans, I'm sure, want to see something big to end off the night, so I bet that's why Jimmy's coming out last year. This is the 30-year anniversary of Bounty Hunter, based off of that, based off of the way the body is designed there. So that would explain the throwback body. 1995. My goodness. You know what I think would have been really cool is if Jimmy decided to whip out the pickup body for a throwback. I think that would have been neat. But I do like the fact that he's given it an ode to the best bounty hunter we ever saw. This was hands down the best bounty hunter. And so was the Scarlet Bandit that Dawn's running. They were the 2 best. Alright, I guess that's it. I thought he was going to do backflip, but he's not. Yeah, looks like Jimmy is done, maybe? It's almost like he wants to do a backflip, but he's not too sure. Well, he is going to do a donut to end things off. And that right there, once he finally stops it, is the end of this first night in Evansville, Indiana. Solid show, 17 trucks. It was a fun show. That was a fun, independent show. That's the kind of show I like doing. Different trucks, different drivers, big field, wasn't boring. That was a good time. Thanks, Ziggy, for the recommendation, and thank all of you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. There will be another one from this venue coming up at some point soon. Hopefully I'll get another video out for you guys this week. If I don't, well, hopefully I'll be able to recover well enough and next week can get out something, but working a lot next week, so if this is the end of me for this week, you might not get another video till late next week. So just bear with me. I'm still glad to have all of you here, though. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.